Okay, so I am so excited to introduce you guys to my friend Renee. And Renee was a one-on-one client with me until the program. And she decided to jump in to the first round of Finding Hope After Hurt. And I'm just really curious, Renee, like what was going on at that time, just in terms of emotional pain or otherwise, that just caused you to just take the leap and invest in Finding Hope After Hurt?
Well, I've been on an emotional healing journey for probably a decade.
Mm.
And a client of mine, that's also a client of yours, had told me about how much it helped her daughter with her stomach.
Mm.
And I was seeing your post and I signed up for a one-on-one, and it's helped me to realize so much about healing and how important it is. Not that I didn't already know that it was
Yeah.
important, because I've been taking layers off, so to speak, for a long time. But this has been the easiest.
Mm.
And not that the others were not helpful up until this, but this one has helped me find um I can just be still. I
Mm.
know that we always will have things that we need to let go of.
Mhm.
I don't have to be constantly working on me. I can just be still for a little while.
Wow, I love that. How do you feel like this one sped up your healing process? I'm just curious because I know, I mean, 10 years is a long, just like for me, like 7 years, 10 years is a long time. I feel like you've just
It's
accelerated in the last.
easier to identify what is ready to be released instead
Mhm.
of it being a wide range, just random's not the right word, but it's more concentrated.
Okay. Okay. If you're willing to share, what kind of trauma had you gone through, and how was that impacting your daily life? And when did you become
Yes, I'm
aware?
happy to share it, and I'm thrilled to know that I was able to finally identify some of these events as traumatic
Hmm.
and stop feeling guilty about them because they weren't my fault. And it wasn't my fault that I allowed it to happen. I realized that I had been in trauma response mode since birth. I've known how to do muscle testing for a long time, and
Yeah.
that's a total game changer in a person's life, by the way. But I didn't realize that I was in trauma response mode. So
Mm.
I, as an 18-month-old baby, was adopted, and my great aunt and uncle were responsible for my parents getting me, because at least some of my siblings and I were left in a car in front of a bar for 8 hours.
Wow.
And then we were all, of course, taken away. I was the baby. And when my biological father realized that things had truly gone south, he said, I can't keep all of these kids.
Yeah.
And my parents had been wanting a baby girl for 9 years.
Wow.
So I didn't recognize until this program that that was a trauma.
Mm.
Okay. The
Yeah.
trauma of being in the car, the traumas that had happened before that incident, because there were, the trauma of being adopted, even though it was a good thing.
Yeah.
It led me to choices in my life and not having good boundaries in my life, and
Yeah.
not and taking physical attention however it came. So I became that teenager, and I started dating a guy. And later I found out that this was his thing. He learned who the virgins were and dated you for a little while and then took your virginity. And then after a little while, after he got you broke in, he dumped you. And then I would just spread my legs all the time because they were paying attention to me.
Yeah.
So it took me this program to realize that I was raped. It was gentle, but it was rape.
Yeah.
And so to release that was a major thing, major healing. And then I was raped maritally
Mm.
with my grandson in the bed with me,
Wow.
with us. And I was able to recognize that as marital rape.
Mm.
And I stopped beating myself up for saying no to that and to the other men that came after that.
Yeah.
And to be able to heal myself sexually and be okay that my body's mine. I don't have to succumb to any other person. Not, I'm not dating, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
So this, I had never been able to recognize that before this program. So
Wow.
I'm completely and totally thankful that I said yes, because it's been one of the best things I've done for myself. And I think all the other things were good. And of course, they were helpful, but they
Yeah.
got me ready for this. So
Mhm.
if you've done something before you joined here and you're getting more results than you were getting, don't beat yourself up that you didn't say yes to this before now. Just be
Yeah.
thankful that you said yes now, and get ready. Your life's going to change in some of the best ways ever.
Oh, my word. That is just, that's amazing, Renee.
It's a game changer. I lost my parents. I was um, just about to turn 35 when my daddy died, and my mother had died 3 years earlier.
Mm.
And I remember crying and saying, I'm too young to be an orphan. And I
Mm.
felt abandon has come up through all these sessions, the group sessions and my individual sessions.
Yeah.
And I don't feel abandoned anymore.
Wow.
And I can look in the mirror and genuinely say to the reflection, I love you. I can look in the mirror and not be disgusted.
Mm. That's
And
that's amazing.
my energy has changed so much that strangers smile at me. I've recently started a new set of tinctures that's helping me to lose weight and balance my hormones. And I wore a dress and got somewhat dressed up to go to Walmart Saturday. And I
Yeah.
had a lady look at me and go, oh my gosh, you are absolutely gorgeous. Total stranger. And another lady said, oh my gosh, you're beautiful. And I posted a picture of myself like I was, and I had a Facebook friend to say the same thing.
Wow.
And I know it's not just because I've lost weight and not just because my complexion and hair and everything has improved. I know it's because I'm resonating at a higher frequency and
Abs.
people feel it. I mean, my aura is bigger.
Yeah, when you heal, you don't just change the inside. Like it just
And my
resonates with other
appointment
people.
book, I'm a massage therapist and I have a salt chamber and I do raindrop and I have, it's called a Lymph Star Pro machine, which some people say it's 8 times. Other people, the instructor says it's 800 times more effective at draining your lymphatic system than manual lymph draining.
Wow.
My appointment book also reflects the fact that I'm resonating at a higher frequency and that I'm not giving off negativity.
Wow. I love that so much. I'm just curious. How did the community aspect of
Say
finding
that
a
again, I was coughing.
that's okay. How did the community aspect of finding hope after hurt aid in your healing? You know, because we had done one-on-one before.
Yes. Yes.
And then you switched to the program, and I think everyone was a little like, not sure how this is gonna work in a program. And just would you please just tell us, like,
Yeah, I
your
jumped
experience?
in with both feet. It was one of those, not necessarily a spur of the moment decision, but I was completely, totally unsure about it. But I trust you, and the one-on-ones had helped so much. I thought if she feels like this is going to help people, then I jumped in. And one of my best friends jumped in with me, and it's like, okay, I can do this. It's like when you go to dinner in it versus going by yourself, you've got
Yeah.
somebody to visit with and somebody that can relate to the food's good or not. Um, it's like a community. You don't know these people, but you feel like you know these people, and you get to
Mm,
watch them heal, and they get to watch you heal. And then when you can post like you post and ask us questions, or we can post. I've posted graphics, I've posted prayer requests, and other people do the same, and you get to support each other. So
mm,
you're not doing this all by yourself. You've got somebody else that can relate to what you're feeling and experiencing, and you get to watch each other heal.
mm. I love that. I
I
love
mean,
that so much.
I'm going to join the alumni group because I don't want to quit. It's like I had seriously thought, well, can I just start over? And then you posted that you don't have to start over. You get to continue to do this.
Yes, I'm so excited about that. You had mentioned you had tried some other things for emotional healing. Do you want to just give people kind of an idea of other things you
Yes,
tried
I
before?
had I did a search. You know how God just puts people in front of you that you're supposed to get put in front of you. So
Yes.
my upline used to do the Zyto Elite scans, but then she wasn't available if you had questions. She's
Okay.
an awesome, wonderful lady. I'm not saying anything negative about her, but so I did a search, and a lady in Missouri came up that was a naturopath, and of course a young living person, and she did the Elite, and she also did the Evox transgenerational.
Okay.
And because I had gotten her so many clients, she did mine for free. And
Nice.
she had to do extras because you do yourself and you do your parents and your grandparents. So I had two sets of those. That was
Oh,
one of my biggest things.
okay.
And then
Oh.
I've done an emotional release through the care training. I've done the
Mhm,
feelings kit. I
mhm,
did trauma life because I didn't really recognize a lot of trauma back then, but I
mhm.
knew that it was necessary, and I liked Steven Seagal. So that's really why I ordered it. And I was in a I didn't realize he was a narcissist at the time, but I was in a relationship with a narcissist.
Ooh,
And he had definitely had trauma. So
mm,
I ordered it. That was one of the first things that I did after I became an oiler. I
hmm.
opened that bottle and I said out loud to myself, and he said the same thing, I'll just keep my trauma because it stinks so bad.
That's fascinating.
In case y'all haven't ever heard this, if you don't like the aroma of an essential oil or essential oil blend, it means you need it emotionally. So that oil sat on the shelf for 3 months. He never did smell it again. But I thought, I was beginning to learn more and more. I thought if this is ever going to help me, I'm going to have to use it.
Yeah,
I tell people, if you don't like the aroma of an oil, put it on the bottom of your feet, put your socks and shoes on, then you won't really smell it. Well,
exactly. I
Renee
said
didn't
the
do that.
same
Renee
thing.
didn't do that. I
Yes.
was already having clients every day. So in between clients, I would put it on my chest.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, it stinks. Oh my gosh, it stinks. But I just kept doing it. And by the end of the bottle, it didn't stink. And over the years, I've had 4 bottles. The fourth one, I diffused it.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so what would you say, how would you say that the Finding Hope After Hurt program changed your mindset or perspective on life, or helped you build resilience and cope with current or future challenges? Like, what would you
I'm not
say?
a failure. I can do this. my trauma is my trauma, and everybody else's trauma is their trauma. It's helped me to help others more and to see what I see in them, and to be, I wasn't uncompassionate, but to be more compassionate, especially to myself
Mm.
and to others, to
Wow.
see how trauma and emotional baggage makes you so bogged down. And
Yes.
it's like something will come up or somebody will say something. I mean, I had somebody to really slam me hard last week,
Mm.
and I was able to pray through it. I was able to be not angry. I was rational in my reply to her, and I explained to her, you know, when you were in grade school and the teacher lined up the chairs in a row and whispered something in the first child's ear, and by the end of that, it sounded nothing like that. So this
Mhm.
person thought I was talking negative about someone when actually I was trying to help them. And I
Mm.
explained that to her. And I know that before I did this, the conversation would not have gone as well as it did. Because after I said what I said to her, she said, "Fair enough. Have a great day."
Wow. I love that so much.
And yeah, it kept coming to my mind. And I asked for prayers that voices be quieted,
Yeah.
and that it be known that I'm not a hateful, ugly person, and I wouldn't say anything bad about someone. I
Yeah.
might speak something that was negative, but it would be the truth, and it wouldn't be slamming them. And I know that before this, I know it's because of this, because I said yes, and the other lady said yes, that we can walk forward with more confidence. We definitely have more emotional freedom and a whole lot less baggage.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Okay, so last few questions and we're gonna wrap this up. Have you noticed any other positive changes in your life that you want to share? Reduced anxiety, improved sleep, increased energy, just curious. Is there anything else you want to share about that?
It's easier to say yes to what needs to be said yes to.
Hmm. That's
Um, yeah, it's just e- everything in my life is easier now. I'm not at the end of the day sitting down to decompress as long.
mm,
And I was doing things to keep clients' energy off of me, but it stays away from me better now. I don't have to decompress as long.
good, good. So, would you recommend finding hope after hurt to others? And what would you say to someone who's just not sure if it's worth the money?
I would 1000% recommend this. If they're just not quite sure, take advantage of your free 20-minute consultation so that they can get their questions and their doubts erased.
Hmm. Yeah.
Do a one-on-one with you, because I know that you want to help as many people as possible, and that you'll take time to answer their questions and to reassure them that it's very much worth the money, and
Yeah.
you're worth spending the money on.
Mm,
Maybe if you don't go get a coffee, maybe if you don't eat out as often,
yeah.
maybe if you know
Yeah.
cut back on
What
something.
is your emotional wellness worth?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much, Renee. I so appreciate you sharing and being vulnerable and open and sharing your heart because I know this is going to help other people. So thank you.
You're welcome.